Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Minasan, ohayo gozaimasu. This is hospital where I work. This hospital was built in 1963 by Russian government, and then they give it to Indonesian government. It's called Persahabatan Hospital. That means friendship. So this is Friendship Hospital. This hospital is National Center for Respiratory in Indonesia. It is located in Jakarta, the capital city of Indonesia. This is outpatient clinic for respiratory disease under Department of Pulmonology and Respiratory Medicine, Faculty of Medicine, Universitas Indonesia. Universitas Indonesia is the biggest national university in Indonesia. There are more than 100 residents and 30 staffs works in this department. This is a chest X-ray of patients with tuberculosis, then treated. After completed treatment, we can see here the result that there are still white square in both lungs. And this is the chest X-ray of the other patients who treated with anti-tuberculosis drugs, and the outcomes after finish the treatment, we can see here small lesion in the lungs. This photo shows a chest X-ray of patient with minimal lesion of tuberculosis. After being treated, the lesion is no more, and the chest X-ray become normal. So the outcomes of patient who treated with anti-tuberculosis can be still white lesion or minimal lesion and also become normal chest X-ray. This is the definition of post-tuberculosis lung disease. It means the patient who suffering from tuberculosis and treated completely. After being treated, there still symptoms or there is still damage in the parenchyma, and also the lung function is not normal, that we call it post-tuberculosis lung disease or post-tuberculosis obstructive syndrome. Tuberculosis is still a global burden. There are 3 regions in the world where the tuberculosis populations are higher. There are Southeast Asia, Africa, and West Pacific. Indonesia is one of the most populated country in the world. Our population is more than 250 million. And then tuberculosis in Indonesia is number 2 in the world after India. And come to number 3 is China. Patients TB that were completed the treatment, they could have disorders in lung functions. The abnormality can be divided into restrictive, obstructive, or both of them. This slide shows the patient who visited our clinic in the year 2022. They were suspected for tuberculosis, but less than half were confirmed tuberculosis either by microbiological or clinical or extra tuberculosis. For post-tuberculosis lung disease, the abnormality can be in parenchyma, in the airway, or in the pleura. This is the diagram of abnormality in lung function in post-tuberculosis lung disease patients. The abnormality can be obstructive due to the abnormality in the airway and also in parenchyma, such as cavitation. And also can be restrictive due to the abnormality in parenchyma, such as fibrosis, and the pleural, such as pleural thickening. Obstructive lung disease is defined when the airflow limitation occur during expiration. The parameter is the FE1 over FEC less than 75%. We use 75% based of our national survey, that is Pneumobil Project Indonesia. The obstructive can be divided into mild, moderate, severe, and very severe. This is study regarding the post-obstructive tuberculosis patients. Amaral found that in post-tuberculosis patient, the risk for obstructive lung disease is high. Menezes found that in COPD patients, the prevalence of COPD in patients with history of tuberculosis is higher than those without tuberculosis history. And the last, Ban found that in post-tuberculosis patient, the risk of COPD is increased. Ri from South Korea found that the decline of lung function in post-tuberculosis patients is similar to those of COPD patients. On the other hand, Raps found that tuberculosis patients who were completed the treatment still have residual lung abnormality, that is obstructive. In our department, AIDA did study for post-tuberculosis patients. She found that among post-tuberculosis patients, there is 40% has obstructive disorders. When we did bronchial hyperactivity challenge, we found that almost 23% of them have bronchial hyperactivity. Sarikin in our department also did study about tuberculosis patients. He followed tuberculosis patients who treated for 6 months. Patient who has obstructive before the treatment, after completed the treatment, the result is vary. Either can be improved or steady condition and even becoming worse. This is the result of the study to see the reversibility of those patients who has obstructive disorders. After treatment, all the patients have no reversibility. The other result of the study can be seen on the left part of this slide. This is about the restrictive disorders. Patients who have restrictive disorders after treatments, the restrictive can be improved but in small number and can be steady or even worse. So the conclusion of the study, first, the restrictive is the higher abnormality in those patients with tuberculosis. The reversibility of the obstructive disorders were irreversible. And the last, there's no significant improvement after treatment for restrictive of obstructive disorders. We conducted study in post-tuberculosis lung disease patients in our hospital in the beginning of this year. We found that they have restrictive, obstructive lung function and no reversibility after bronchodilator test. and the lung diffusion capacity were decreased. The mechanism of obstructive post-tuberculosis lung disease is still unclear. It as proposed, the mechanism is as follows. The obstructive can be due to small airway obstruction, bronchiectasis, and distortion of lung parenchyma. So, the obstructive disorders divided into bronchiectasis and no bronchiectasis disorders. Bronchiectasis defined as abnormal dilatation of the airway. The obstructive disorders in bronchiectasis can be due to airway turbulence during expiration and accumulation of the secretion in the airway. This is the mechanism of bronchiectasis in tuberculosis patients. Bronchiectasis can be caused by traction of the airway, caseous necrosis of the parenchyma, and increase of airway pressure in the lumen of the airway. On the left panel of this slide, we can see the bronchiectasis on the chest X-ray in all the parts of the lungs. In the middle, the bronchiectasis in the both lower lobe of the lungs. And in right panel, the gross appearance of the lungs, the bronchiectasis in the upper part of the lung. CT scan can be used to evaluate bronchiectasis in the lungs. CT scan is superior compared to chest X-ray. On the left panel, we can see the bronchiectasis in the middle of the lungs. And in the right panel, we can see the traction bronchiectasis and also bronchitis appearance in the left lungs. Choi did study to compare bronchitis patient with history of tuberculosis and without history of tuberculosis. In those patient bronchiectasis with history of tuberculosis, the BMI were low and the frequency of COPD were higher. And on chest X-ray, the lesions were prominent in the upper part of the lungs. And the lung functions were worse compared to those bronchiectasis patients without history of tuberculosis. Obstructive disorders in post-tuberculosis lung disease without bronchiectasis can be caused by involvement of small airway and distortion of lung parenchyma. Involvement of small airway can cause obliterative bronchiolitis. This abnormality can be seen in the CT scan as air trapping and emphysema. Allwood stated that the CT scan of patients with chronic obstructive airflow limitation with history of tuberculosis had more air trapping, fibrosis, and emphysema compared to those who has no history of tuberculosis. This is the other mechanism of obstructive in non-bronchiectasis post-tuberculosis patients. In tuberculosis, there is inflammation which causes secretion of MMP and lead to destruction of parenchyma. Singh did study bronchoalveolar lavage in tuberculosis patients. He found that the level of secretion MMP in the fluid of bile were elevated, and it correlates with tissue damage. This figure shows how tuberculosis can cause lung function disorders. Infection tuberculosis cause secretion of interleukin and secretion of MMP. It cause formation of granuloma, cavitation, and fibrosis, and lead to obstruction and restriction. Agarwal did study in COPD patient. He found that 32 patients of COPD has history of tuberculosis. These patients were younger, lesser pack years of smoking, and high rates of hospitalization compared to those COPD patients without any history of tuberculosis. Swain conducted study to compare the clinical outcomes of obstructive post-tuberculosis patients and COPD patients. In obstructive post-tuberculosis patients, they had more exacerbation, severe exacerbation, high rate of hospitalization, and more mortality compared to those COPD patients. There are three concerns for management of post-tuberculosis lung disease. First, prevention. Second, minimize lung damage. Third, treatment for post-tuberculosis lung disease. For prevention, we should give prophylactic treatment for latent TB. To minimize lung damage, we should do early diagnosis, prompt treatment, and smoking cessation. For treatment post-tuberculosis lung disease, we can give bronchodilator, mucolytic, and antibiotic to prevent bacterial or fungal infection, and also do rehabilitation for airway clearance. We also did study to treat post-tuberculosis lung disease patients. Saad divided the patient into three groups. The first group were given oral theophylline. The second group were given oral salbutamol, and the third were given placebo. The result of treatment for both group who got either theophylline or salbutamol, the lung function improved, but no any significant improvement in patients who got placebo. Other studies were also conducted in Korea to treat post-tuberculosis lung disease. Hume gave inhaled tiotropium for those patients, and the result increase of lung functions. There are other study conducted by Kim. He gave inhaled indacaterol, and the lung function also improved. For the conclusions, TB is still a global burden. The lung disorders in post-tuberculosis lung disease could be restrictive, obstructive, or combination of both. The mechanism obstructive in post-tuberculosis lung disease can be caused by bronchiectasis or non-bronchiectasis. In COPD patients who have history of tuberculosis, the clinical manifestation worse compared to those who doesn't have history of tuberculosis. The treatment for obstructive post-tuberculosis lung disease can be oral or inhaled bronchodilator. Thank you very much for your attention. Domo arigatou gozaimashita.